I had no idea I was 9 months pregnant until I went into labor while I was trapped in an elevator. It was all my husband's fault. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. My name is Darlene, and I was married to a despicable man named Charles for 1 year. He was a conservative man who believed in the old ways of life. Some may even call him a misogynist because of his idea of where women belong. Charles believed I needed to gain weight so I could successfully carry a child. He thought my hips were a little too slim for me to get pregnant, so he fed me at least 6 times per day. He also forbade me from doing any form of exercise so that the weight I gained could remain on my slim frame. However, he was on the right path because I slowly gained more weight and eventually, it became rapid. I got so fat I had to quit my job as a ballerina. I simply couldn't lift my body with ease like I used to, and I became a laughingstock whenever I tried to practice. The transformation continued, and at some point, I had to shop for new clothes at a plus-size store because I couldn't get into my old clothes. While I shopped, a tall chubby man approached me and introduced himself as Harry. "I think you are very beautiful," he said. "You need to have your eyes checked, sir," I told him, annoyed because I thought he was messing with me. I was anything but beautiful and considered myself disgusting. I gained 120 pounds in 7 months, and I felt very self-conscious, but strangely, I felt somehow less troubled in Harry's presence. He left after we spoke for a few minutes, and I felt a bit better about myself for the first time in ages. I did not have my periods for months straight, but I was unbuffered because I had irregular periods in the past and I thought it was just a product of my overeating. Advertisement: my husband made me take a pregnancy test when I let him know, but it was negative. I took the test while he was at work, so I decided I would go to his company to let him know the result because he would definitely be away from his phone. It was negative, I told him when I met him in his office. He was not happy about it. "That's terrible, we have to get more food into you and have you checked," he said. "Now leave." On my way home, I met the chubby good-natured Harry again. We got to talking, and I found out he was actually a colleague of my husband's. He offered to walk me out, but we got stuck in an elevator when its doors malfunctioned. I was stressed out because of my husband's reaction and decision to feed me even more food, and it triggered labor. At the time I had no idea what was going on with my insides. I felt the baby kick a couple of times, but I was still clueless. While I tried to rationalize the way I felt, I was shocked by a contraction that almost made me collapse. Harry, who had been paying attention, reached out and steadied me with an arm. Then he asked, "How far gone are you?" The question threw me, but that was when it hit me: I was having a baby. I quickly called my husband and tried to reach him so he could move me to the hospital, but he would not pick up the call. Suddenly, I heard dripping on the elevator floors and realized my water had broken. It put me under even more stress because I had no idea how to deal with it. It was comical that I had finally gotten pregnant, but the man who was bent on it was about to cost me the baby. Lucky for me, Harry was around, and he quickly put 2 and 2 together. He was a big and strong man, so he used his strength to force the elevator doors open. He carried me out bridal style in his big strong arms, and I had never felt safer. He followed me all the way to the hospital, and I gave birth there. The doctors revealed to me that I had had problems with hormones during pregnancy, which is why tests never revealed I was with child. All the while, I tried to reach my husband, but out of annoyance for me, he had chosen to ignore my calls. After the delivery, he returned my call, and I told him I wanted nothing more to do with him. He was furious, but I told him if he wanted custody, he would have to battle it out in court with me. I moved on with Harry, and we both decided to lose some pounds to remain healthy. Together we are raising our child.